Women unfortunately encounter men who are in various stages of undress or completely naked in all career fields. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones, and I want to respond to JMac 111's comment on my previous post. Where are people working where men randomly get half undressed? And this happens in just across every field. Where not only do men get half undressed or fully undressed, but there's also inappropriate touching of women as well. So when a woman is grabbed, grabbed on her hand, grabbed around her waist, slapped on the butt, even groped in the chest and things like that. These are things that happen when women are on the job. And I'll tell you, this can even happen in a public setting. One of the shows I used to love to watch, I forget what the name of it was, but it was this show that sort of centered around people at the airport, and people would be having like these sort of freakouts and this trouble just sort of navigating, just flying anywhere. And I bring that up because this has even been known to happen where people are where men get completely undressed on an airplane. I've heard it from flight attendants that have encountered this, and this is a very public job. It's happened in healthcare, both when women are working and when not working. When women are working there, and it could be with a colleague, it could also be with a patient, but women are encountering this like every single place. You have delivery drivers, that people show up without clothes on. You have, if you're looking at the post, you have housekeepers, nannies, you have all sorts of people, but this also happens in a professional setting as well. There's a lot of people that work in a workplace where, if you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, that quid pro quo something. And sometimes they can get shocked by management, by supervisors, by people that, that show up randomly and have expectations. Trust and believe this is a thing that happens. And apparently, it's happening all the time, unfortunately. But this can happen even in a very public place, and it's been known to happen. People, if you live in a metropolitan city, I lived in Chicago for years. Not a day would not go by, catching the train, catching the bus, you almost guaranteed that someone's going to show up naked, or they're either going to strip off their clothes inappropriately, and do that. In New York, any major metropolitan city, Los Angeles, where there's a lot of people that just, you just never know. And so it could be in a work setting, it could be in a non-work setting where these things are just happening to women. And like someone else mentioned, not only are women just sort of being, men are approaching women in various stages of undress, but they'll just walk up to you and get in your personal space. And they're doing it to push your boundaries. They're doing it to see what they can get away with. And people will do that when in the back of their minds, things are much more sinister. People are doing this kind of stuff for a reason. It's to get attention, but it's also to push up on you, to see how far this thing can go. And it doesn't matter if this man is attractive. It doesn't matter if he appears to be nice. It doesn't matter if it didn't seem like he was violent at first. People know exactly what they're doing. So when they come out, they don't have any clothes on, or they're taking their clothes off. They know exactly what they're doing. And my message is, when a man does this to any woman, you need to make him feel the wrath of the devil, because that's how serious you need to be in that confrontation. He needs to know that you're not messing around. And again, like some of the other people were saying, oh, they do it and they try to do it under the guise of a joke when it's a sleep study. It's not funny. It's not funny, and it's inappropriate, and you don't need to be talking like that to me. And you need to be very firm. You need to be very stern. You need to be very loud, and you need to turn around and walk up out of there. Or if he's coming to your job or your place of business, he needs to turn around and walk up out of there. And if he doesn't, police need to be called. You need to stop playing with people. People need to know what time it is, and because they're going to push the limit, and they're going to also feel a lot more grandiose and entitled and ego driven if they don't suffer any consequences as a result of this happening. So trust and believe that this is happening all the time. Just look at all the comments, and I'm quite sure there's a lot more people. It's over 45,000 people have viewed the comment now, and this is I just posted this thing like a few hours ago, so this post hasn't even been sitting up for a full 24 hours. It hasn't even been sitting up for a full 12 hours. And so all these people are looking at it. So I'm quite sure there's a lot more people that are looking at it that haven't commented, that have went through some things and have seen some things in various professions. Various professions are a lot more at risk. When I first started working in therapy and doing online work, men did it there. So don't get it twisted. This happens even when you're being completely professional. People will just show up and do things, and they will expose themselves, and they will get close to you. They will touch you. They will use sexually suggestive and inappropriate language. And don't mess around with that kind of stuff, but trust and believe it's in every single profession.